Hi, my name is Patty Taylor, and I'm one of the curriculum and instructional specialists with Classworks. Wow, can we all just take a deep breath right now for all the changes that have been happening? I wanted to reach out and offer you some support to create a familiar environment for you and your students. Classworks can be a framework for an engaging digital learning experience for your students when districts announce that schools are closing, like they have now. Classworks online instruction keeps students moving forward and lets them hold on to the gains that they are making, even while they are learning from home. And Classworks allows you, the teacher, to monitor what your students are working on, view how much time they're spending on the activities, and also provide essential feedback in a timely fashion to continue their learning. I want to share my screen with you as we talk about ways that you can put in your home learning plans. You may want an option to take grades. I want to share with you our recommendations on how you can successfully assign grades using the student data from Classworks. Because Classworks automatically records your student scores and time on task, you can select the activities that you want to use as a grade. Communicate this with your students and parents is an important part of the remote learning process. You will want to share with them how you will be grading. One suggestion I might make is how about doing a recording or a video or sending an email or a text message explaining the activities that you will take for the grade, how you will grade them, and then how you will share the grade with the student and the parent. After all, remember, the purpose of a grade is to give our students and parents feedback on how the student is doing. So make sure that you keep those lines of communication open. And don't forget about the share option on the My Classworks score page. The parent can easily monitor their student to ensure that they stay on task using the My Scores page. They can track their student's progress even when the student is working in another room of the house. Now, let's talk about the 4 areas where teachers can monitor students' work, provide important feedback, and assign a grade. Those areas are the teacher-created assignments, individualized instruction, classroom reading, and then classroom math. But remember, our goal is for our students to continue learning while they are away from school. Let's take a closer look at the first section. Teacher creates custom assignments. We suggest that during this time of remote learning, that teachers begin creating and assigning assignments that are familiar to the students and serve as a review to build their confidence in learning remotely and using technology. This type of assignment allows everyone to do exactly the same work from any location. Build these assignments to correlate to pacing guides so that students stay on track with classroom instructional goals. Select a few units so that students practice the right skills to keep them moving forward. As they are working on this, remember, you want to monitor your students' work. Using live data can help you as a teacher stay on top of what specific skills your students are learning or the skills that they need to have reassigned. You can view the assignment results report that you see here. This includes how a class or a student is performing on a Classworks custom assignment. Teachers can see a class list and know at a glance who has mastered the content. This report documents dates, skill mastery scores, and provides the student's time on task. You can even filter the date to view the assignment score to generate a weekly Classworks grade. You have the option of using either the unit activity scores or the final unit test score as a grade. Another area of Classworks where grades can be taken is the individualized learning assignment. Your students' individualized learning assignments are based on the latest test data so that students are working on the skills that they need. These assignments allow students to fill skill gaps, build their learning foundation, and for students that are working on or above grade level, This individualized learning allows students to soar above and beyond those expectations. Sometimes teachers feel that giving a grade on this part of Classworks can be a little bit tricky. But remember, this portion of their grade is just a snapshot of one area. You want to ensure that students are giving their best efforts in completing assignments while working on their learning path. So a grade can serve as a strong motivating factor. It is important to note that this grade is based on a student's performance at their level. By using this grade, along with other grades, you and the parents have a better idea of how the student is learning and progressing. Many times, assigning a grade will require the student to focus and fulfill their responsibility of doing their best. Don't forget that this real-time data dashboard ensures that you are keeping a pulse on the student's momentum towards the end of the year goals. But then you may too also want to view a report. So let's look at a report on the skills summary. The skills summary report is used to pull time on task and mastery for the week. This summary of student work can be used to give students a classwork grade by subject. The rigor of the work can be determined by comparing below, on, or above grade level time on task, their overall mastery, and then the number of units they have completed. Here you will see a student that has worked on their individualized learning the week of February the 24th through the 28th. Based on this data, Chandler would receive a grade of 95% and Susie would receive a 55%. Remember too, if students need an assessment to create an individualized learning assignment, that Classworks assessments are right there for them to take. Now, let's look at our third option. Our third option is our classroom reading. This section allows for reading passages with text-dependent questions. Students can read rigorous text, answer text-dependent questions, and then formulate a written response. It's important that students continue reading deeply, even though they are home learning. Classroom reading activity scores are also great to use as daily grades. Scores are visible as soon as students complete the multiple choice questions, since they are automatically scored. The teacher will need to score the open response question, but Classworks will offer you support. Resource pages are available for every classroom reading activity. This resource will explain each of the distractors and why that answer is incorrect, while providing suggestions for a correct answer on the open-ended. Teachers can find a how-to guide at help.classworks.com that will work them through the steps on grading the open-ended questions. Teachers should allow about 30 minutes a couple times per week to review these open-ended questions. And students are also able to incorporate writing and drawing in these lessons. Let's check out the integrated reading student results you see here on the screen. You can print these individual student results for the activities, and you can include student notes, any passage, part of the passages that they highlighted, and also their individual answer choices. When viewing this report, you are supported by showing the incorrect answers, along with an X and the distractor rationale that's listed under each one of those answer choices. Now, we've talked a lot about language arts, but I haven't forgotten about math. Math in Classworks allows the students to practice problem-solving skills while using the math practices. Classroom math activities are aligned to standards and differentiate to build conceptual understanding. Each problem has students use the canvas to create models, as well as write, draw, or record their thinking to demonstrate their knowledge. Students love to work out these problems as they use the digital tools to create and expand their thinking. Classworks, though, also supports the teacher. We will provide you with a resource page for every math activity that will explain the practice standards, common misconceptions, recommended manipulatives, and a purpose-setting statement. Not only does this resource give the teacher the correct answer, it explains the why behind the answer. This teacher tool is invaluable. Classroom math activity scores are also great to use as daily grades. Teachers are able to view and monitor students' work as they progress through the activities, and scores are visible as soon as students complete them. Teachers can find additional support on the specifics of how to grade the activities with our help document entitled, How Can I View and Grade Applied Math Assignments? This document will walk you through the process of grading these activities. Again, like with the reading, teachers should allow about 30 minutes a couple of times per week to review the open-ended question. Now, remember, the end goal is for your students to learn and to flourish during this time of being away from school. Monitor your students' work in Classworks daily. Reassign student instruction that is below 80%. Of course, when you are monitoring your students' usage, you may see some students that are not putting in the expected amount of time. This is where communication is so important. Send out an email or a text to parents to encourage them to follow the schedule. This personal touch will help keep your students on the right track. And remember, don't just focus on the grade, but keep the focus on the learning. We want to take a deeper look at the data. We also want our teachers to run those reports using a data range, weekly data range, to document their work and mastery. By taking grades like this, students' accountability is boosted and teachers are able to track their performance. We know that classrooms are looking different right now, but we want to help support you during this unprecedented time in education. I want to remind you by sharing my screen again to reach out if you have any questions about Classworks. Remember, we have that blue chat bubble that has a team of success specialists waiting to answer your questions. They can also put you in touch with your CNI to offer support. We offer virtual Connect sessions and free online classes too. Although we are all practicing social distancing right now, we are here to help you and your students. Classworks can be the framework for your digital learning days and offer students some structure and normalcy during this quickly changing and challenging time. Students will be working on the skills they need. Teachers are monitoring student results, and parents have an organized schedule to follow to keep students learning and engaged. Just remember that your Classworks partners are here to help and ease your mind. Let us help support you as you support your students while your students continue to grow academically during this unique time. Please reach out. We're here to help.